Let's talk about Mana Method and Mana Zone. And I'm keeping them together because not only are they very connected and similar, but also they're both short enough to be individual videos that are like 3 minutes long at most, so it'd be easier to make them into one. Now, I'm going to start with Mana Zone because that's probably the one people know the most about and it's probably the quickest to get out of the way. Mana Zone is fundamentally speaking controlling mana in a zone. It's very self explanatory. By taking hold of the ambient mana in nature and the area around you before manipulating it freely to match your element, such as light, darkness, time, wind, fire, etc., you can then amplify you, your powers, your abilities, etc. Introduced by Merlona Vermilion, and probably one of the scariest women in all of anime, Mana Zone amplified her strength so dramatically that she was able to effortlessly overpower a elf that had copy magic and some of the strongest spells in the series. Now, mana zones have two states. They can either A, be used simply using mana zone for brief moments to amplify attacks. Those are best shown with Captain Yami using the Dark Cloak Dimension / Equinox, Dark Cloaked AI / and Death Thrust. Yuno also has a habit of using this from a mana zone as well with his Spirit Storm, something he typically uses a charge up time for, but is able to whip it out on the fly with mana zone amplification. That said, however, some zones are simply just places where your spells are stronger, you're stronger, and you can use magic you can't normally use because it requires more power. Or you can use more powerful spells a lot more freely. These are mana zones in their entirety, and they're probably their original idea. Unsurprisingly, the majority of mana zones are based off this idea. Merlona Vermilion seems to exclusively use the attack option, as Caldeus Brachium Barrage, Purgatory, and Purgatory Abyss all are just basic attacks that are amplified by Mana Zone. To where other more conventional wizards, to say the least, use Mana Zone in its entirety, both amplifying their abilities and amplifying their magic. The first shown example, to my knowledge, of Mana Zone not being used to simply amplify an attack, but overall amplify the mage, was when the Wizard King fought Patri. This was Chronostasis Gregoria, used by, well, the guy with time magic. But also we get to see Lamp of Avior Gloria used by the first Wizard King, Lumiere Silvermillion, Clover. Black Moon is Yami's equivalent of this, allowing him to take control of existing mana and, through the effect of darkness magic, absorb opposing spells, though not all spells, as Dante was apparently still able to fight with gravity magic since it was so close to his body. However, some magic just simply works like that. Noelle was able to use the Valkyrie dress to counter the compass magic, so maybe the rule of thumb is that if it's being released from your body, it's one thing, but if it's existing through your body, it's another. Vice Captain of the Black Bulls, Noct Faust, created Dark Prison Hunting Ground, a place where he uses Canis, which is a form of devil union with a specific devil, and he uses his mana zone with that to amplify the power of Canis. This creates a massive field of just shadow hounds that are fucking terrifying. Seriously, Noct is scary as shit. Spirits can also help in the activation of Mana Zone. Undine was able to create a Mana Zone so wide with the Heart Kingdom's natural mana that she was able to cover the entire kingdom in Mana Zone. When combined with Mana Method, it creates something as powerful as the Ludic Sanctuary, which not only halved the power of the opposing mana, but also doubled the power of existing water magic, including Noelle's, which wasn't even the person casting the Mana Zone. With her Valkyrie dress mermaid form, she was able to completely match, actually, at least a weaker version of Vancia. And when she let Megacula out to play, holy shit, she went up ham. Though after little Apexia passed out, that kind of went downhill fast. Condensing and controlling your mana zone can allow you to create entirely unique spells that you couldn't make without it, such as the Dark Cloaked DI / Dark Cloaked, well, actually just Death Thrust, and everything used by good old Merlona. Also apparently to an extent used Mana Zone to create Spirit of Zephyr, though I'm not 100% sure about that because it's not listed as a Mana Zone spell, but majority of the stuff he used with Sylph is based in Mana Zone, so it's kind of debatable. I personally see Spirit of Zephyr as condensing Mana Zone without calling upon the power of Mana Zone, if that makes sense. But that is mostly everything about Mana Zone. It makes you stronger, it makes you faster, makes you more durable, and it makes your magic better in every possible way. Mana Zone based in healing magic could heal entire cities, possibly, if you're good enough. It could poison cities if you have poison magic. Mana Zone could bring the end of a kingdom, or it could raise it back up depending on the type of magic you have. It's really dependent on the user and their abilities. As no two mages are the same, it could very easily be that two people with darkness magic create entirely different forms of magic. Two people with water magic absolutely make different kinds of magic, as Lolopexia and Noelle act nothing the same in combat. I actually kind of wonder what Noelle's Mana Zone would be now that I think about it. Like, it's gotta be fucking awesome, right? Because, like, yeah, like, we see what she can do with Mana Zone amping her already, so what would that be? Maybe with Ultimate Magic. I could do an Ultimate Magic video, shit. Sorry, back on topic. That's everything I can talk about Mana Zone, so let's move to Mana Method. As natural mana is so abundant in the Heart Kingdom, as in so abundant you actively can study it, and people from opposing countries ask requests to study it, you tend to, make stuff with it if you have magic. Like, if you have a lot of gunpowder, or supplies for gunpowder, you make a lot of bullets. If you have a lot of natural mana, you learn how to control it. Though entirely possible without it, it tends to be best used by those who have naturally existing elements. Elements that are created by man, such as certain metals and, I don't know, maybe Mercury? Is Mercury naturally existing? That's beyond the point. Those don't really work well with Mana Method. However, stuff such as the 4 natural elements of mana, plant magic, etc., lightning, so on, things that you can find in nature realistically, those are best used by Mana Method. The user takes natural mana out of the air, and they control it and condense it to form runes. These runes act as more or less orders to your mana. These orders can be anything as simple as pursue or hunt, get bigger, get smaller, split. Basic shit. Think meta magic from Dungeons and Dragons. However, these runes can be combined with other runes to create a full array. These arrays amplify the power of your magic, and this magic is a lot stronger than the last. Not even funny how much stronger. Now, the Heart Kingdom has a unique way of studying magic, that being mana stages, which is kind of like power levels. But they're not bullshit, so they're actually good. Mages from the 5th stage or below, technically below. I have to go into a whole video about that. That's actually my thing. Let me explain actually very quickly. Basically, the lower you are on the numbers, the stronger you are. Stage 0 being the strongest, better known as arcane stages. People from 9, which is the lowest you can get, to 5th are incapable of using Mana Method. Sort of. Technically. So, Magna created a Mana Method based spell, which allowed him to fucking whoop the ass of Dante. It was so cool. It's Mana Method, and it's trap magic as well, but it's not considered Mana Method for some reason. People in the 3rd stage to 0 or arcane stages, however, they can use Mana Method freely, and they typically use it for very explosive results. The best use of it, however, is true magic, which is basically creating and wielding so much natural mana that you create it completely indistinguishable from naturally existing versions of magic. Think of it like this. A wildfire and a Bunsen burner are not the same thing. However, Bunsen burners, since they're focused, can typically get more hot and more hot. They get stronger flames because they are focused and they are controlled. Despite that, however, the power of an untamed wildfire, like the kind that ravages entire forests, those are unmatched. Tesla coils and tasers versus lightning storms. Garden hoses versus tsunamis. Get the idea. True magic is the personification and shaping of magic in its original form in nature, and that's why natural existing materials for attributes are a much better use for it. This creates some inconsistencies, but overall, it's really cool, and I actually really like it. Also, it allows weaker mages to use ultimate magic, which is going to be an entirely different video. Mostly because I want to see what all it can do. We don't know everything. Lightning magic creates naturally existing, lightning storms, and it also let luck become a bolt of lightning with Kranos, Kara Unos, Keranos, Keranos. Let's call it that. Leopold made much more powerful fire magic, but overall it was just fire magic. Probably the best example of this actually has got to be what Charlotte did with her Briar magic. Blue Rose Paradise and Queen of Briars were able to let her stand up to and beat a weakened form of Megecula Venancia. The girl who was able to hand Noelle getting amplified by the fucking water spirit her ass. Like, seriously speaking here, Vancia is scary, and before the first gate to the underworld opened up, Charlotte would just mana method handed her ass and sealed her away no problem with her Briar magic. Unfortunately, Captain Jack never learned a way to use mana method because that would be fucking scary considering the fact that without mana method and I believe without mana zone, the man was able to fucking hurt Dante, a man who literally can regenerate anything. Like, seriously, what the fuck? Why is Jack so scary? I regret putting Slash Magic so low in my captain's ranking. Please watch that, by the way. However, since I want to talk about it because it is technically still Mana Method, I'm going to talk about Soul Chain Deathmatch. What the fuck, Magna? Mixing Trap Magic with Mana Method, Magna created the ability to even the playing field almost quite completely literally. Basically, it's Trap Magic plus Mana Array, which creates this chain that exists that binds the two people by their souls. These two chains completely split both parties' mana evenly. It was stated that compared to the 1000% mana that Dante had, Magna only had 2. He then combined 1000 with 2 and then split it evenly, giving both 501. That's the whole thing with the spell. That's literally it. There's nothing special about it beyond the fact that it equals out magic. This gave Magna half the magic that Dante had in supply regarding just raw mana. And what the fuck? It's so OP. Like, it's not so OP that it's like game breaking, but if Magna does not start using that thing more often, I'm gonna be pissed. In his own words, he just evens the playing field. That's it. That's all he does. And it's fucking awesome. That's pretty much everything about both Mana Method and Mana Zone that I felt like talking about, and then I could think to talk about. I'm gonna make more videos a lot more consistently. I'm gonna start talking about characters more often too, because I'm pretty excited to talk about that. Working on a history of Libe video, the anti-magic devil lists inside Oscar's Grimoire. Look forward to that. I'm pretty hyped about it. I'm really excited to get back into this. I'm Lightning Anime. I'm the trickster of Lightning Anime. I'll see you next time.